The Trump administration lost another court ruling. Reporters cleaned out their desks at the Pentagon. And an 80-year-old athlete might put your fitness to shame. That's some of what we'll get to on the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Thursday, October 16th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. A federal judge ordered the Trump administration to pause federal layoffs during the government shutdown. It's day 16 of the shutdown. Less than a week ago, 8 agencies issued layoff notices to more than 4,100 workers. And President Donald Trump promised further cuts, targeting what he called Democrat programs. Here he is on Tuesday.
The Democrats are getting killed on the shutdown because we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we were opposed to. So we're being, and they're never going to come back in many cases.
Yesterday, Trump's plans hit a legal setback when a federal judge ordered the administration to halt the layoffs. Senior U.S. District Judge Susan Ilston sided with unions, which argued that the dismissals were illegal. Federal workers reacted with joy to the news of the judge's ruling yesterday. Some of those already dismissed during the shutdown said it was a cause for tentative optimism that they could get their jobs back. One labor leader said the unions will continue their legal battle no matter what the administration does. For more on the Trump administration's attempt to close parts of the federal government permanently, check out yesterday's episode of Post Reports. Find that wherever you listen to podcasts. The Supreme Court appears open to limiting a key section of the Voting Rights Act. That's number 2. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 is widely considered one of the most significant laws of the civil rights era. It was designed to root out discriminatory practices in voting and elections, like drawing election maps that dilute the voting power of Black Americans. Yesterday, a majority of justices signaled that they thought it might be time to undercut a key part of the law, known as Section 2. They seemed open to arguments in favor of further limiting the use of race in drawing legislative maps. Such a ruling would most likely lead to a decline in the number of minorities holding public office. It would also touch off a scramble to redraw electoral maps across the U.S., putting Black elected officials in particular danger. Attorneys representing both sides of the case spoke to the press after making their arguments before the court yesterday. Here's Louisiana Solicitor General Ben Aguinaga.
What I told the court at the podium is, look, at the end of the day, we really need clarity. The states need clarity on how they're supposed to comply with the Voting Rights Act and with the Equal Protection Clause.
And here's Janai Nelson, President and Director Counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund.
We feel confident that if the court relies on its precedent, if it continues to have a commitment to the 15th Amendment and to this project of multiracial democracy, that it will rule in our favor.
The court's 3 liberals were deeply skeptical of potential changes to the law. Justice Sonia Sotomayor said the practical impact of any such ruling would be to gut the Voting Rights Act. Number 3. Reporters left the Pentagon together after refusing to sign on to restrictive rules. Yesterday, more than 30 members of the Pentagon press corps turned in their credentials. They then walked out of the building, possibly for the last time during Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's tenure. They had their accreditation revoked after refusing to agree to the Defense Department's new restrictions on their news-gathering activities. Among other things, the new rules would bar reporters from soliciting information that the government hasn't authorized for them, otherwise known as doing journalism. Dozens of media outlets rejected the rules, including the Washington Post. Fox News, ABC, CBS, NBC, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, and many more major outlets rejected them. As of Tuesday's 5 p.m. deadline, only the Trump-friendly One America News had said it would sign the policy. Number 4. President Trump said he has authorized covert CIA action in Venezuela. In recent weeks, the U.S. has conducted lethal strikes against alleged drug trafficking boats off Venezuela's coast. On Tuesday, Trump said the U.S. military had killed 6 alleged drug smugglers. The president claimed the men were narco-terrorists affiliated with a designated terrorist organization, but he did not name it. Yesterday, Trump further escalated the pressure on Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro. The Post reported that the CIA will collect intelligence on drug cartels. Trump declined to say whether he had authorized the CIA to overthrow Maduro, as some of his top aides have urged. The Trump administration has accused Maduro of stealing last year's Venezuelan presidential election. Number 5 is a Post exclusive. Errors in a new Medicare plan online portal could mislead seniors. A new directory is meant to help older Americans navigate Medicare Advantage open enrollment, but it could end up giving them erroneous and conflicting information. In some cases, the tool makes the same provider appear to be both in-network and out-of-network. Medicare experts and patient advocates say it could confuse older people as they look through their options, or force them to foot the bill for regular medical appointments. The Post's revelations have led to a federal government scramble to try and solve the problem. According to a new study, 60% of Americans don't have quality jobs. That's number 6. A Gallup study drew on data from more than 18,400 workers. It judged people's jobs on 5 key metrics and found some shocking results. When it comes to pay, nearly a third of workers said they were struggling to get by financially. And more than 40% reported having little or no control over their working hours. Analysts also considered if people had enough control over their working conditions, whether they felt respected at work, and whether they had opportunities for professional development. They found that workers in professional services were the most likely to have quality jobs. Number 7 today offers you a chance at glory or humiliation. You can test how your fitness compares to that of an elite athlete who's 80 years old. Researchers examined the fitness of over 4,100 athletes aged 50 to 90 plus. They found that most were strong and had high aerobic conditioning. Few had ever experienced heart disease, high blood pressure, or diabetes. The researchers went on to develop new fitness tests to check the group's capabilities. And now you can see how you compare to these athletic silver foxes. At the Post's request, the researchers chose the 2 simplest and most effective tests for you to try at home. They're simple, they just involve standing up and walking. But they might just surprise you this morning. You can find out how to do them, if you even can, at the link in today's newsletter. Head over to the show notes to find that, and good luck. All right, you're all caught up. If you're thinking to yourself at this juncture, I'd really like to sign up for that newsletter she just mentioned. Let me guide you through it. The show notes are basically the information page of wherever you're listening to me right now. If you really can't find them, just Google the 7 Morning Briefing. You can have the 7 delivered to your inbox early every weekday morning. All you have to do is sign up. It's totally free. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.